Hello, my dear friends, my dear masters, and my dear gods. This is Parinitha, and I welcome you all very warmly to PMC English and to this wonderful series of episodes called as Spiritual Glossary Season 2, my dear friends. It's been a wonderful week and lots of learnings, lots of meditation, lots of reading books. So many things are happening, isn't it? So, my dear friends, this has been a wonderful journey for me with you, trying to share what the books are telling, and I'm just reading it out all for you. That's all I'm doing. So this is what is spiritual glossary is all about, and we are learning lots of wisdom, knowledge, and we're trying to understand and assimilate what these words mean really. I'm so excited to share today's word, my dear friends, because it's the most sought out, most searched, most believed term in spirituality, and the most famous, most popular, which is used across the globe. The term is called as karma, my dear friends. So what is karma all about, and what does it do? What are the intricacies of karma? This is what we are going to learn today, my dear friends. So here it goes, my dear friends, and we are going to learn about karma. So please pay attention. So your karma decides the high water mark of your evolution. Negative karma is the accumulation of all those thoughts, words, actions that break the law of love and act against beauty and justice. Pure karma is the accumulation of all your thoughts, words, and actions that stream forth from the treasury of beauty, goodness, and truth. Such a karma acts as a propeller, as an energy on your path, and makes you able to overcome hindrances and continue your path of transformation. And karma is a Sanskrit word meaning action or activity, but the action or activity mentioned here does not have the usual meaning. Action in Sanskrit means cause and effect, because if there is no cause, there is no effect. And in Christianity, this is called as the law of sowing and reaping. As you sow, so shall you reap. And also in other religions, it is called the law of righteousness, the law of equilibrium, and the law of balance. And it's a natural law that whatever is done physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually creates some electrical charge in space. And even one moves his hand, he is projecting an electrical charge which will produce a corresponding effect. And this electrical charge creates a response, an answer, which even 1,000 years later will come back and find the man. And this action and reaction is not only on the physical plane, it is also on the emotional, mental, and spiritual planes. When a man is thinking, his thoughts are creating their own responses on all levels of space. And it is said that actions done on any level do not stay on one level, but create different reactions and responses on all levels. And according to the ancient wisdom, there are not separate individual, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual planes. They are all interpenetrative. And something that is happening on our physical plane affects the etheric centers and the astral centers, and then goes deeper to man's inner structures, then passes to the spiritual levels where it leaves an impression. And this impression, in due time, will be reactivated, and it will produce the proper effects and results in your life. And whatever is done in our life, physically, emotionally, and mentally, is nothing else but the labor to create our future life. Men are sowing and they are going to reap. It is as if this present life is nothing else but the fruit of the seeds that were planted in past lives. When one is talking about karma, he is talking about a great energy system, about a system that is a supercomputer in space itself. Not a single action is lost. Instead, each word, each action is computed in that big machine of space. By space, we do not mean an empty vacuum, but an energy network that automatically and naturally produces a reaction to any action. It can be said again and again that bad karma, so to say, or karma of sorrow and pain, is the result of breaking the law of love, personally or in a group way or in a national way and in a global way. And karma is not punishment. as it is popularly said. The conscious lives that are controlling the law of karma have no intention to punish a person or a nation, but to educate them in such a way that in the depth of their hearts, they see the causes and their effects and learn not to repeat the same actions. And karma is what you planned in the past for your future. This planning was done consciously or unconsciously. If your thoughts, actions, words, and emotional reactions created a wall to prevent the flow of the blessings of divine abundance, you will fail every time you try a new way to have abundance. And of course, you can change the situation with great sacrificial efforts and planning wisely for the future. But you must know that you reap whatever you sow, my dear friends. And karma is a law which watches the process of synthesis and reacts to every motion taken against it to re-establish equilibrium and synthesis. And people think that karma exists as a cosmic computer. This is a good understanding, but one must know that this computer is the space itself, which is everywhere and in everything, even in your motives, thoughts, brain cells, heart, kidneys, emotions, actions, and dreams. Then how can one escape from space? Isn't it a wonderful question? How can one escape from space? As long as you work for beauty, goodness, and justice, you do not create bad karma, but you increase your savings and help others with your savings. In helping others, you do not violate their karma, because if their karma is negative, no matter how much you help them, their karma rejects your help or makes it fail. So this is today's word for today's episode of Spiritual Glossary, my dear friends. The word was karma, the most popular, the most famous word across the globe. Every person, whether spiritual or non-spiritual, uses this word, isn't it? So this particular word has been taken from the following books written by Torquem Saradarian, which are The Challenge for Discipleship, The Questioning Traveler and Karma, Karma and Reincarnation, Synthesis, and The Spring of Prosperity, my dear friends. That's all for now. This is Parinitha signing off for today's episode, and I'll see you next time with yet another wonderful, beautiful word. Thank you very much. Namaste.